There was another courier?
Of course. You must have met others in your travels. This one had met other couriers too, although it sounded as if he hadn't met the correct one. He asked us all many questions, and then he asked a most perplexing one. We had to segment the event out of our memories for safety.
He was looking for me. I don't know that... He must have been looking for me. Yeah, I don't really know if we have heard of the courier's motivation, the other courier's motivations so far. What was the question?
I do not know, nor should we try to access it. Perhaps Klein has the logs. My evaluation would be to let your own curiosity go. I do not think that Klein remembers the conversation as being satisfactory.
I feel strange in here. Peaceful, but on edge.
It is the pacification field emitters that are broadcasting into the emptiness of your skull. Without a brain, your aggression is suppressed in here.
Is there any way to shut it off?
Why would you want such a thing? You might surrender to your hormones and commit primal aggression on me, on us, again and again. Then I would have to return the favor, activating my vivisectors and gently lobotomizing you from behind. Not something I would relish doing. No, the only way to circumvent the field is to have a brain, and we extracted that like we do all lobotomites here.
I had other questions?
Perhaps you are stuck in a looping gesture of verbal intercourse.
Nah, it's not yet. Can you tell me about Dr. Mobius?
Dr. Mobius, a monstrous brain creased with wrinkles of 1,000 evils, with but one jaundiced eye with which to perceive the world. Exiled from the think tank for crimes too heinous to remain in recorded memory, and perhaps differences in research methodology. His one terrible eye forever peers at us, an eye of ever-increasing magnification. He watches from his dome in the Forbidden Zone, spying on us all.
Jaundice is quite a word. Apparently it means yellow or yellowish. Or also, it can mean envious because of the yellow with envy, I think. I don't understand how the tech line wants will help.
It'll all become clear. If not, at least we will have the technology here at the Dome, where all technology belongs. When we have all the technology, all the answers, we can share it with the world, piece by piece. All will be in order, and all will be like Big Mountain.
Can you tell me more about the Big Empty?
The Big Empty? Now that's not a proper title for this research facility. You sound like previous test subjects that came here. This mountain, now crater, encompasses the sum total of knowledge of humankind. It is Big Mountain, where all questions can be answered. You'll see. No matter what your questions, Big Mountain will provide the answers, as it has done for so many before you.
Did it though? Like what?
Previous test subjects who have come here have had many questions for us. We answered them with science, fire, and termination.
Okay, let me, Actually, you know what? You seem to be looking at me a lot.
Your primitive eyes deceive you. No, there are no needs contained within my soft gel. Much like the soft gel of your eyes. No, nothing here.
We've spoken enough.
Until our next interaction, my intriguing little lobotomite.
Let me see what I have over here for my perception. Because, naturally, I want to see that. So we got some coyote tobacco, which is probably going to be good. And we have perception 2 on mentats. That's all I need. Not addicted.
And you return as curious as a teddy bear. Are you stuck in a looping gesture of greeting?
That's the second time you mentioned that. What do you mean looping gesture of greeting?
Looping, yes. It is a scientific fact that hormones drive a percentage of lobotomites into recursive behavior patterns. We haven't researched this, as my colleagues care little about the behavior patterns of lobotomites once their brains are removed. It is why so many are littered around the facility, like skinvelopes, discarded after they are peeled open and the contents extracted.
What recursive behavior patterns are you talking about?
It varies according to the number and density of lobotomites that have infected an area. In 43% of observed cases, two lobotomites left alone will fight for dominance or inject bodily fluids into each other's orifices. Unsanitary. I have tried to observe more cases, but subjects seem unwilling to release bodily fluids in my presence.
How very unfortunate. I assume they still fight for dominance. I can't help but notice your fascination with human body. I mean, nobody can help but notice that.
What? Nonsense.
I'm gonna close my eyelids, breathe deeply, and then stretch languidly.
What? What are you doing?
I'm gonna run my hands along the sides of my face and then exhale rapidly. And we just completed the mission coming out of her shell.
Stop it. Why? Why are you making me partake in this filthy formography?
Oh, and now we know what it means. I'm gonna turn and cough roughly and then slowly scratch my nose.
Enough. I am already intrigued. You have sufficiently percolated me. I don't know what it is about the biology of lobotomites. It infects my thoughts. All that skin and muscle and tissue.
You're all a bunch of hypocrites claiming superiority, but you miss being human. Admit it.
I cannot deny it. The illogic of it. The betrayal of our own beliefs. I blame my curiosity.
I could come back anytime and just breathe if you want.
Would you? I feel so ashamed, but yet so intrigued. You'll need to give me a rest in between visits, or else my gel might run over. If you're ready, let me radar scan you. Slowly. Woo. Woo. Purple, purple, woo. Bloop, bloop, bloop. Purple. Ba-ba, bloop. Ba-ba, bloop. Ba-ba, bloop. Whew. Last little bit there. Thank you, lobotomite. Please, you must come back for further study when I've had a rest. I'm a little sensitive right now.
No problem. I am getting all of your drained small energy cells. I'll take them away. Goodbye.
Until our next interaction.
Uh-huh. Alright, then. I really don't need the anything. The energy cells. There's a lot of energy cells. We might need that, actually. I'll hang on to those. Alright. There's more things over here. Probably should talk to Klein now, even though we did talk to Klein. Hey, Klein, what's up?
I can hear your penis-tipped feet tromping around.
Sorry. Tromping about? Shouldn't you say flopping about? Ooh, wait. Oh, these are their rooms. Although I'm not sure they're current rooms. Also, by the way, Dalla kept mentioning the gel and all that. I don't think this game ever mentions it, although it might be possible to find it in the bodies of robo-brains. These brains are suspended in biogel, and it's very obvious that it is once you play Fallout 2, because there's a mission where you can reconstruct a robo-brain, and one of the things that you need is biogel, and you actually read a little thing that talks about that. I can't zoom in with this without aggressiveness. I can't right-click either. That's kind of interesting. And we got a radio that can be activated. I will not do such criminal things as that. But I don't know whose room this is. Let's see what this one is. I think we know whose room this is. Which probably means that the previous one is Klein's. There's a trunk here with a lot of drained things. I'm not sure. Oh, and teddy bears. Sexy sleepwear. Oh. Mannequins giving each other roses. Or flowers, anyway. No. This is Dr. O's. Or I guess zeros. And all the deconstructed machines. And I don't know what that is. I don't think I can tell. I don't think it matters either. If you can't tell, it probably doesn't matter. So that's it. Hey, Klein.
Did you retrieve the technologies yet? We need them, as I have indicated.
You have shouted them at me, in fact. I heard one of your previous visitors through the dome spoke to you and asked you some questions.
Oh, yes, the last visitor. Well, the one just before you. Had an interesting name from some language that's almost impossible to speak. What did we speak about? Melancholy fellow. Had questions about history, but our conversation got interrupted. Twice, I believe. Once when the trains got derailed, and then a second time. Oddly enough, now that I'm accessing my databanks, I don't recall what the second time was. Mobius's incessant transmissions keep distracting me. Also, we didn't brain scrub the visitor. He may have left us some knowledge he shouldn't have. I believe, maybe. Oh well, I'm sure it's of no consequence. I don't make many mistakes in calculation or perception, so probability favors me.
So you say. I'd be honored if I could hear any knowledge the think tank had to share on the sciences that I could then leave with, and, you know, probabilities and things.
Why, yes. We are filled with the knowledge you speak of. If you wish to know more, simply ask the others. They can help you.
Well, yes. Will they help me now that I talk to you? Maybe. Yeah, you seem like the one in charge. You are...
I am Dr. Klein, Chief Head Researcher of Logistical Operations and Ideology here at Big Mountain. I am surprised you have not heard of me. I am first in my field, first chair, as it were, back in the days of chairs.
In the days of chair, because they don't exist anymore for them. Who is Dr. Mobius?
Dr. Mobius was not the horrifying creature you saw upon the screen, twisted by science. He was once one of us, a friend. He researched in directions contrary to the think tank. Brains, 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 always about the brains. So we exiled him. He says he left of his own volition, but that was to save him the embarrassment. Now he sends his intelligence-consuming scorpions from the Forbidden Zone to plunder the secrets of Big Mountain. He is a menace.
I don't remember if I named an episode 6 Geniuses something something, but I didn't make a thumbnail for an episode with the 6 scientists that that show up in the intro for this DLC. And that explains why there's 5 robots in here, and Mobius, naturally. So, yes, they were, supposedly, if not friends, they were colleagues. Roboscorpions drain intelligence from living creatures. How? Chems?
I'm not certain. Perhaps it only affects machines. If so, you may be immune. If it is chems, then we have nothing to fear. Since we are afraid, it must not be chems, and you need not fear, which means you can test it. Logical.
So, yes. Why do I have this strange passive sensation in here?
It's a side effect of the cerebral scrubbing. It won't stop you from excreting, or asking questions, apparently. Have to correct that next time. Hormonal aggressive tendencies are actively suppressed, however. They are a no-no and not permitted in the think tank. The scrubbing also ensures your silence to keep Big Mountain safe. This facility is top secret, and you cannot speak of it to anyone outside of Big Mountain. Should have done it with the last batch, and the anti-aggression scrub.
But I like to fight.
We had to take precautions after the last visitors. They caused a great deal of damage in a short time. Should have made sure they couldn't mention Big Mountain once they left. An oversight.
That's actually... I wonder if it is ever explained why we saw the satellite and were transported here in the first place. Who were these visitors?
Dr. 8 and Dr. O could tell you more. Dr. O more than 8. The battle against the visitors damaged 8's voice module. Suffice to say, those visitors are unwelcome. They stole a great many secrets and much technology. Impertinent. They also broke one of my trains.
Okay, well, yeah, it's kind of interesting that they make you basically not be able to kill these things. Obviously, they can die. That's all for now.
Yes, a most goodbye.
That's obviously they can die because of the super bad disease that happens to bad things.
I...
You what? Oh no, I didn't. Oh, that's quite interesting. And I can't be aggressive right now. That is quite interesting. Okay, we can reload. We can we can reload to make sure that Klein here doesn't die of the super bad disease. But it is interesting because the moment he dies, even though it wasn't me who killed him, he died. Everybody turns aggro. Huh.
Did you retrieve the technologies yet? We need them, as I have indicated.
Yes, what is this place?
This is the think tank. The nerve center of Big Mountain. The greatest research center known to man, and to us. Here we test and test and test some more in the name of science. Atomic power, nuclear power, and scientific power.
I've heard of this place called the Big Empty.
Yes, because the intellectually challenged see an M and a T next to each other and take Occam's razor to it. While you are here, you will refer to this place properly, and you will do the same with the other scientists here.
Scientist. I'd like to know about the Forbidden Zone.
That glowing red scar? That laser lobotomy canyon maze carved in the landscape as if by some child? It is Mobius's fortress. From that hemorrhoidal fissure, he sends his amazing robo-scorpions to terrify and irritate us. He always tended to the dramatic.
Can you tell me more about these pylons?
Ask Boros. I believe he knows more about the fence than any brain. Except maybe Mobius. Mobius was involved in their construction, if I recall. But he's such a hack, he probably was reading off Boros' notes and schematics.
I have some questions about this brain extraction you all performed.
Well, we didn't actually do it. We tried to clean up after, as always, but usually the auto-dock runs on remote. But we programmed it, or Mobius did. Still, this new wrinkle with the Tesla coils in your skull was unexpected. I mean, we predicted we'd have a breakthrough eventually, but... Dala knows more. She supervised your spine peel and the heart circumcision, then dumped them both into the tanks in the sink above. Quite sanitary. Sure took her time. She always takes longer than projected with lobotomite surgeries. Not sure why.
You said before that Mobius might have my brain?
Yes. In all probable likelihoods, yes. Possibly. That it may have gone to Mobius is merely an inkling. I don't know why, but it may be something involving the surgery code. Actually, I don't know. All I know is it misplaced itself, or it floated off. They get into robots sometimes and go on a tear.
Mobius set up the Autodoc medical routine, so you think he's responsible for the post-organ dump?
Yes. Always leaves back doors into things. Have to keep finding them and closing them. The auto-dock is now erased of his routines. It was thorough. Only Mobius would know for sure what happened with the procedure. Perhaps. Well, and your brain, of course, it would know as well.
My brain would know?
It can communicate the procedure when we examine it. It is conceivable to trace its surgical scalpel prints once we have the brain. Might take some time, but your brain has no pain nerve to scream at us while we dissect it. Convenient. I detest screaming in my lab.
It's not the nerves that scream. What's this autodoc surgery code you mentioned?
Mobius's legacy code was in the old autodoc. Yes, it fried itself after your procedure, so he couldn't tell for sure. It is unfortunate. We would have benefited from knowing how the breakthrough occurred. Even if we installed another chip, the information is lost.
Why would Mobius want my brain?
Why does he seek our destruction? Why did he build robot scorpions with intelligence training stingers? It is because he hasn't cleaned his biogel in a long time. Clearly he's got some sort of psychological corrosion. He's mad.
Right. So these mechanical robo-scorpions consume intelligence? Are you certain of your findings?
Dr. O is certain of his findings, and no one else in the think tank is willing to test the results. Loss of brainial power. Terrifying. O has said on many occasions his inability to comprehend Mobius's robo-schematics is because of repeated robo-scorpion stings.
Well, I think they might have some more conversations for us after I talked to Klein, but I'll talk to you later.
Yes.
I will indeed. So, that was Klein's room. Oh. Would you guys don't mind if I think somebody was looking this way. This looks just like a normal room with a few more radios in here. It's gonna be Boros's, isn't it? Or 8 rather, not Boros. Huh. I wonder if there's a room for Mobius around here. Because there are 6 rooms. I think. Unless I'm wrong. This one has a dino toy. Oh, this... Wait. Who's... Footlocker over here? Metal boxes? Oh, mentats. Yeah, these guys have mentats for days. Oh my god. I mean, it makes sense as well in the context of the DLC because there's gonna be a lot of science stuff. So if your character isn't good enough at this, then yeah, you're gonna have a bad time. And this is another locked one. So this would be Mobius's, I think. Yeah, unless the last one was Mobius, which could be. Could also be Boros's. Oh yeah, it's definitely Boros. I can tell because I think I recall what's going to happen with Boros. But I'm just going to point that out over there. That's Boros's for sure. And this, the hardest lock, is Mobius's. I think. Let me just get these things. Nothing important. Are we good? Bottle caps. Mentats, Radaway. We have more Radaway. Radaway in a radiation suit, which we will not be using. Dr. Mobius's glasses. Wait. They add +2 intelligence. Also explosives. That is an incredibly powerful item. And mentats. So Dr. Mobius really enjoyed his intelligence. And Nuka-Cola, I suppose. Always time for refreshing Nuka. Down here, we have an I mean, these things are not owned. I'm not really sure why I'm being cautious not to be seen. Just force of habit, really. You should never pick a lock that isn't yours and that isn't in use. And these clearly are in use and are not ours. Dr. Boros.
The lobotomite animal before me. What other terrifying terrors will plague us in our quest for knowledge? Communists? Communist animals, perhaps? Be warned. Attempt to propaganda me. I will shriek as a frightened babe, calling loyal cyber dogs to my aid. Do you comprehend, commie animal?
Do you always get this dramatic?
Drama? There is no drama in science. As I learned in high school, science is an intellectual pursuit devoid of bestial emotions. Unless, of course, you are a communist. Like Betsy Bright, who sat next to me in math, and her smoking Confederate Richie Marcus. As I learned in my high school, American High, AHS, drama is for movies, things of fiction. Here in the think tank, the only star is science.
Okay, well, who are you? What do you do here?
Before you is the brain of Dr. Boros, head of animology, beastology, and DNA scrambling technology here at Big Mountain. I lay the bones and hearts of animals bare beneath my searing gaze, especially the dogs. I did so love dogs once. Especially Gabe, that rascal. But there are many animals to shape. Industrious cazadors, the happy-go-lucky night stalkers. They are my living, breathing DNA test tubes.
Night stalkers? Those crazy coyote snake things?
Indeed. Docile, curious, safe, sterile. They are contained here at Big Mountain to preserve DNA and for observation.
Also, the cazadors. What makes you think they haven't escaped?
Because Big Mountain safety measures are far more sophisticated than their primitive animal instincts. We are their lords and masters.
Contained at Big Mountain. Those things are all over the Mojave.
No, such creatures are found only here, for research purposes. They would no more be capable of escape than breeding.
I don't think they're sterile. They breed, all right?
I cannot expect a lobotomite to understand the careful surgical castrating procedures used in their creation. Perhaps a demonstration of my castrating power would settle your doubts.
Go ahead. You might make me more fertile or impregnate me.
Impregnate you? What? Do you want to make me vomit inside my tank? The mere notion makes the edges of my biomed gel crystallize into asymmetrical patterns.
You don't seem to have a grasp on your own research.
Nonsense! That is what you speak. Nonsense from beyond. I was at the top of my high school class in American high school. I knew facts. I knew figures. I knew data. We would know if our research was flawed. It is not. We never contradict ourselves, so do not even try.
So, Night Stalkers were created for what purpose? And did you create the Cazadors?
In 2000, let's see, carry the 3, then count backwards from the Great Static, or beyond. There were the Tarantula debates, and something about hawks, which made it around 2003, May, Tuesday? It was definitely Tuesday. Why are we even debating this? What you ask is of no importance. Mobius besieges us. There are more important things to worry about than data and facts.